There are many reasons to consider using a conversion kit on a Velux roof window. It may simply be that you've had a manually operated window installed at a high level, so it's impractical for you to be able to operate it on a daily basis. Or it may simply be that you want to add the means of remote control operation to make the most of our Velux Active package, so you can have a window that's operated via the sensors to give you a healthy internal environment. Today, we're going to be taking you through the options of our conversion kits, and we're going to be installing the solar conversion package. With our conversion kits, you inherently have two options available, whether you wish to have mains power or solar power. And within each type, we also have two scenarios, one for the current range of windows and one for our older range for windows that were manufactured from early 2001, going all the way back to 1986. Here, we can see the component parts that make up some of the electrical operation package. Something to consider is the fact that, as well as the motor that we have here, you'll also have a separate power supply unit that will need to be plugged into your mains power, along with some 2-core cable that needs to be routed from the power supply unit up to the window and into the motor. So it may not always be the best practical solution if your internal finishing work has already been completed. So let's fit the KSX solar conversion kit. So what we have to do first is attach the solar cell. Now the solar cell attaches to the top cover, and because we're going to be holding it on with a strip here that's held on with adhesive, we need to make sure that this is nice and clean. So we come in 25mm from the right hand edge as you look at it from on the roof. We then line up that top section so it just slots up against the top hood, and then we're just going to press that down, and that gives us a nice tight grip. So we take our solar cell, we line them up just with the small little connection teeth, and then we push that across to the right hand side to make sure it's locked in. With that popped into place, the final part just to fix the very front edge is another little adhesive strip. So you can see here we have this little pink tab. We just peel that back and then just run your finger across the front, and that just helps to grip that down onto the front edge. So we'll just carry on with the part of the process now, mainly concentrating on the next step, which is from inside. So with the solar cell now in place, the next thing we need to do is to make space at the top of the window for the motor. So the first thing to come out is the insulation. We're going to remove the insulation and then cut away the middle section where the motor itself would fit. So we can just screw these out with a screwdriver. Just remove the insulation. The next step is to take out this middle section, which we call the striking plate. The next step is to fit the bracket onto the ventilation flap into which the motor will engage to open the window. So there's a little red clip here that actually allows you to make sure you line it up just to match the window. Once you have it in position, we just then pull these lugs apart like so, and that allows you to then close up the ventilation flap completely. Now I can pop these two screws into place, and I know I've got the bracket in the right position. If I now open up the ventilation flap, I can just peel this section back and pop this bracket away, because that's our guide and we're finished with that. The last step for this stage, and a very important one, is to attach the magnet over this section of the lock. If we forget to attach the magnet, the motor will just not work. It will permanently think the window is being manually operated. So to attach it, we just slot that over the bar, push it down, and it clips into place. So now when we close the window up, once the motor's in place, it will make contact with the magnet running across this top section. So the next stage is to connect the motor to the solar cell. So what we have to do is pop open this little compartment here, in which you'll see a 2-pin and a 3-pin connection, which match up with the 2 plugs on the end of the solar cell. So I'm going to simply plug these in and then wrap the excess cable along these grooves, leaving myself a little bit of slack, and then I'm ready to pop the motor onto the frame. So the cable wrapped around, all we now have to do is position that underneath the hood section. Notice we have pre-drilled holes that will tie into the lugs on the motor. So once we have that in position, we're going to use the 3 screws that we took out from the plate at the beginning, along with 2 additional ones supplied to secure the motor to the frame. And then before I pop the insulation blocks back on, the final key step that we need to do is to open up this little compartment here where you can see the sticker showing that we have 2 plugs inside. This is also quite a vital step, because if we don't make this connection and we fail to connect these 2 plugs together, then we have no power going into the motor, so nothing will work. And then just pop that back inside the compartment, close it all up, and then I'll pop the insulation blocks back on. With the final connection made, our conversion is complete. Thanks to the batteries being fully charged when they leave the factory and the switch now being pre-paired, all you simply have to do is tap the open button on your switch and the window starts to open. We hope this video has helped you see just how easy it is to convert a manually operated window into a solar powered one. But if you have any further queries on this type of installation or any other ones, please feel free to contact your local Velux service technician. Alternatively, you can also find further information on our website.